Hello and welcome to another Ye Olde Battle Apps hobby video, talking about Hunters Captains today. In fact, I'm going to do a few videos on different Hunters. So I'm playing them a lot recently, taking them to a couple of tournaments. I want to talk about my thoughts and feelings. Not going to do too much of a comparison again with their cards, more talk about their plays and how I've used them and what's gone well and what hasn't gone well and what teams they work against and things like that. So I've got two here, Skatha and Theron. In fact, I've only got a black and white Theron card because I've got a photocopy that Jack made me. Obviously with his new rules. Just mark the pen off. And I used Skatha in a game yesterday, so hopefully I've got a bit to talk about. Theron, certainly new Theron, this is after the updates, is awesome. He's really good. I think he was perceived quite a while as quite a weak captain. I always liked him before, to be fair, but he definitely is better now. Standard movement again, attack is good, kick is good, solid kick, 4-1 defense is pretty standard with 18 health. It's pretty hard to take out, 4-1, 18 health. Standard influence for a captain. Pinned, snipe and sunstrike. Sunstrike is now even better. Of course, it now affects all character plays. In the tournaments I played in, I was playing my first game, in fact, I played against Butchers, and they had the ball and they were just passing it around, getting 2 or 3 momentum, dodging, getting some more momentum, etc. And they hadn't quite banked on the momentum that I was about to get, because I sunstrike myself with Theron. He had 6 influence, did pinned and snipe on people, gave myself 2 momentum. I think I had heroic landing as well, so I did Blessing of the Sunfather on Egret and sunstrikes her as well. So I already had 2 momentum. She then got off Flurry for free and did Snapfire 4 times. So not only did I damage someone quite horrifically in the first turn, and people were just poisoned and snared all over the place, I also had 7 momentum at the end of turn 1, which was pretty mental. He was not expecting that at all. So that Sunstrike is really good. Blessing is still just as good as it was, of course. I've got a slightly bigger range now, possibly 6 inches. I think it was 4 inches before. But it's the Sunstrike. It's being able to generate momentum without the ball, without having to engage someone. It's such a useful trait. And then of course pinned. I don't think I necessarily used pinned to the best of my ability in the tournament, but I think I've thought about it and ways I could have used it. I did manage to block off a few charges. I managed to block a charge for Ox. He couldn't charge in turn 2. In one game I blocked a charge from Rage, another one, which is good. He just got stuck behind his own player. A good way of doing it, of course, is to pin someone. Then if everyone's got the ball, pass the ball somewhere, then dodge behind his forest. So they literally just can't get to you because they can't charge through the forest and see you. That's a good tactic, but a bit difficult to pull off because you've got to have the ball and you've got to set up a few things first. But it can definitely work. Of course, one of the good things you can do, which not so much in turn 1 unless he's kicked off, but you can pin someone and then run away. And they not only can they not get to you, if you run somewhere difficult, then you can completely screw over someone's charge. So he's very much a control captain. I have scored goals with him, but he doesn't tend to be a captain that gets up the pitch very much. He tends to sit back a bit and, fair enough, snipe people or pin people. But yeah, I do like him now. He is definitely good fun. He's also a lot dodgier than he used to be. His knockdowns lower down, his damage is better. He took out Ox for me, he took out a couple of other people in various games. He's definitely able to get those takeouts, especially if you hit someone, snare them, hit them again, knock them down. They're usually 2 defense then, or 3s and none or something, and then we can really lay into them, especially if they're crowded out or something as well. Other side, if we're talking about Blessing, still useful. Light-footed, I mean, loads of hunters have got light-footed, so I'm not going to talk too much about light-footed. Nature's Growth. Nature's Growth, the forest it seems like it could be good, but I always find it difficult to use because if you've got a pitch with a lot of terrain on it, it's hard to place. And 9 times out of 10 I forget to put it down in the first place. I think I need to buy myself possibly the Muson Minis token set for him and then just have it stapled to my face or something so I don't forget to put it down, because I'm sure it is useful. I mean, if nothing else, he can put himself in terrain, or he can help out Original Hearn, do a bit of jumping shenanigans. It's definitely a useful thing to have, but it's one of those things you just got to be able to use it now that it's at the beginning of his activation and not any time That's what I really struggle with, is I forget to do it at the beginning. I need to remember to plan out his moves better, think about what I'm going to do first, then place his AoE, and then start doing everything else in his activation. So then going on to Skatha, we'll come back to Theron and we'll do a bit of comparison, but standard 5-7 move again, although you can kind of consider it as 7-9 because of it's called Nature's Chill. Attack 5, 4-6 kick, it's a bit more of a striker, defense 5 is always fun. Standard 4-6. Pretty good playbook. I like her playbook. I think it's good. It's nice to have the 2 momentous damage in the game I played against Jack, which will go up at some point if it's not already up. She helped take out Shark because he was snared and knocked down, and she kept getting that 2 momentous damage, 2 momentous damage, 2 momentous damage over and over again, leaving him on 1 health. And she had the ball, so first activation of turn 2, hit him once, 2 momentous damage, and then was able to snowball, pass, move, etc, and score a goal. So she got a 6-point activation at the beginning of turn 2, and Shark had just been taken out, so that was quite a devastating start to turn 2 for Jack, certainly. Cold Snap is useful. I don't tend to use it that much. I think, depending on what team you take, if you don't take the bear, you're not as worried about snaring people, especially if you haven't got Fahad either. So I don't tend to do Cold. I don't tend to just do Cold Snap. Sometimes I've done it off the playbook before. I can't remember when it was. I was able to charge a turtle at some point. I was playing against Union, got a wrap, so I did Cold Snap, snaring 3 different people, and did a momentous 1-inch dodge, which meant that I could then score. So that was quite fun. So it definitely has got its place. It's definitely useful. I think the fact that it doesn't stay there is a shame. That potentially would make it used more, I think, as if it was an AoE that you put down and it stayed there and people that entered it became snared. That'd be a bit mental. Maybe a bit too good. But I'm not used to that. I'm used to placing AoEs and they stay there. So it's one of the few people that don't get that. Snowball, exceptionally useful. I use it almost every single time I use her. With a 4-6 kick, it just means that it's so easy for her to get out of trouble. Creates a snowball, passes it to someone, dodges away. If she's engaged by a 2-inch melee model, doesn't matter. Just dodges away with it. So it's a really good way of either getting momentum if you need it, or getting out of trouble. So I find that really useful. Or making it easier for her to score a goal as well. Create the snowball, pass it, dodge up 4 inches. If she's already been passed the ball and dodged, that's an 8-inch dodge that she's already got on top of her move. So it gives her a mental goal threat range. Don't use Blessing of the Moon Goddess very much, her bottom one. Adding an extra dodge. Hunters are a very dodgy team anyway, or a very pushy team. They've got pushes and dodges all over the place. I don't really feel like I've ever used it very much, which is a shame. Maybe I should do it more, because you can do it on herself. It sometimes seems like a bit of a waste of influence. So light-footed as well, like loads of hunters, so it's good for ignoring rough ground. Nature's Chill, so this is kind of the equivalent of Theron's. Let's get them both over. I don't know if you can read them or not, but so we've got one. That's the cat flap going. One which creates a forest, and one which creates fast ground. Oop, now the cat's ringing a bell, and now the cat's jumping on the table, so I'm going to have to get it off. Off the table. Off the table. Kitty cat. There we go. That's looks like hard. I think the Nature's Chill is more useful, giving herself the extra move she needs it to go and score a goal, or placing it somewhere where Egret can hit it as well, increasing her move to make it ridiculous is also really, really good. Or Vet Hearn as well. If he's near rough ground and you place that down, he's suddenly got an 8-10 move, which is phenomenal. So he can really plough around the pitch as well if you can put it in the right place. So I personally think Nature's Chill is more useful, but I think it's because I just struggle to place that forest terrain. I struggle to find where to put it, where to make it useful, where it isn't also just annoying for me. I guess the problem with Nature's Chill is that the enemy get to use it as well, which is always the issue. You put it down and they can benefit from it too. So sometimes it's not good to use her too early on in the game. What I have done is I've put it on rough ground before, because it says you can place it anywhere, just not within 2 inches of terrain, but rough ground isn't terrain, it's ground. So I've placed it on rough ground before, which means people moving through it don't usually benefit from it because they've got to hit the rough ground first. That's quite a fun thing to do. And then moving on to her legendary, It is good, but I think what I need to do with it more is just when I'm surrounded by people, use it. It needs to be done early on. Not forget it. In the game I played against Jack with Fish, I kind of forgot to use it. Or never really got an opportunity to use it, I don't think. He didn't use his legendary with Shark either, but that extra push dodge definitely useful. If you charge someone like J-Car in, he can just be dodging all over the place. Or if you're charging for Hardin and you want to make sure he definitely gets out, that extra push dodge means that no one's ever going to engage him. So it's definitely really got its place. I do like Skatha. I think the thing with we'll talk about lastly really with these two players is depending on which captain you choose, you'd likely choose a very different team. With Theron, it feels like you very much take the old hunters. You're going to have Egret, you're going to have Hearn, you're going to have Fahad, J-Car, possibly Chaska. Whereas with Skatha, you feel like you need to take the new ones. Vet Hearn works better with her because he brings 2 influence. Snow, I think, works better with her. And actually not the bear, because you don't get the snared out as often. So when I've used Skatha, I haven't taken the bear, and actually I haven't missed him, funnily enough, but I'll move on to that because I'm going to do another video later about the different union options where I'll talk about using Avarice and Greed instead of the bear. So in the Skatha game I used yesterday, I didn't take the bear, took Avarice and Greed instead. Not only was I 2 influence up, I had a Hunter's team with 13 influence, which was lovely. Now usually you're on 11 or 10 because you've got the bear in there that doesn't bring any. It was quite fun to take a very different team. J-Car I think fits into both quite happily. I think Chaska could fit into both, although I don't use Chaska very often. And again, Fahad could fit into both. He seems to work better with Theron because you get that extra damage for the pinned. But you could use him with Skatha as well, I think. Who have I forgotten? Zorola. Zorola's still a tricky one. I'm not going to talk too much about Zorola because I haven't really used him very much. And Ulf, again, I haven't really used him very much either, so I'm not going to compare him. But I think he probably works better again in a Skatha team, especially if he's done a legendary, or giving him Blessing of the Moon Goddess. So if he charges and does damage, he still gets a dodge as well. So he doesn't have to worry about that. So that could definitely be useful for Ulf. I think the thing with these two players is they're quite different. Skatha's always right up there in the middle, right up there in the pitch, scoring goals, getting in snapshot range as well, dodging around all over the place. Whereas Theron, I've found that he tends to sit back a bit more and pin people and snipe people, and some like others, he's a bit more of a supportive piece. Whereas Skatha tends to go off and do her own thing a bit more. Both, I think the main thing actually, which is really important, I think is really important with any game, is they're both just really, really good fun to use. I've loved using both of them. Really different games using them, but really good fun both times. Skatha with her just dodginess and creating snowballs and passing around and stuff is brilliant. Theron, just look on someone's face when you've pinned their captain and then move somewhere where they can't charge you. It's hilarious. You know, pinning Ox and then moving behind an obstacle, so all he can do is just waddle up to an obstacle and sit there. Pinning Vet Range and then moving behind your forest or something is just brilliant, because he's just, oh, right, now he's stuck. It's really good. And then Snipe is always fun when you think, oh look, that striker's got the ball, and now I'll make them -2/-2 kick. So they're both really useful, and obviously getting snared out just regularly with Theron is always useful. Makes some clear conditions. One player that I definitely think just works with both of them as well is Egret. I think she makes her way into any team for me, particularly well with Theron. If you can Sunstrike her, she gets loads of momentum too. But dishing out poison like she does is just awesome. I think she's brilliant, but she works well in both teams, and I think because she also doesn't actually need that much influence, you can give her 2 and she can still go and poison a couple people. Again, in the game against Jack, I played against Fish, she just dished out poison every single turn. Siren and Salt were always poisoned, Sakana got poisoned. It really just made it hard to not want to clear them or have to use momentum to heal, so she's really useful for that. I think there's anything else I was going to say really. The best thing, of course, is to go out and use them, play against different teams, try different things. and see how you get on. I've really enjoyed using both these captains. I'm still going to continue to use both of them. I'm not specialising in one, I don't think, because I don't really want to. I am going to specialise in hunters because I really enjoy them, but I'm not going to use just one captain because it's not very fun. So I hope you enjoyed using them too, and I hope this has been useful a bit, or you've at least enjoyed hearing me just brain fart all about hunters and how much fun they are. And I'm going to do some more videos about this. I'm going to do some about Union, I'm going to do some mascot comparing and things like that. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you next time.